Hi, I'm Abigail Troth, and welcome to the Community Calendar interview. Today I'm here with Elizabeth Jones, president of the Black Eyed Susans. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing very, very well.
It's very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. Thank you
Yeah.
for a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely, of course. We love to have you here.
Mhm.
So, what is your role as president in the Black Eyed Susans?
So with Black Eyed Susans, when I was nominated, first off, I was so excited because this organization is kind of different to others. It's an all-women's org of 29 women, and essentially I was elected by my fellow women in this organization to lead them and lead the organization for a whole year, which is really, really exciting because all of them are so special. We're all really, really involved in different leadership skills and different leadership opportunities. So it's nice to have that connection and similarity to them, which I love because it's always nice to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And they're like, oh my gosh, me too. It's always really nice to talk about that. And essentially, I just kind of regulate things and do all that. But really, Emma Warren, Maggie Morton, and Raven Harris, there are other three executives, and they really do a lot of the backbone work. Emma's the financial person, so she takes care of all of the money, all the funds. We've done this semester a lot of profit shares, which is really, really fun and exciting, and we have a couple of those coming up. And then Raven's our event coordinator, so essentially any event that we're going to have, she does a lot of that too. We just recently had Day of the Girl, and so we celebrated International Girl Day, and we sold Black Eyed Susan seeds. It was a really good idea. That was like, she planned all that, and it was amazing. It was so cute. And then Maggie is our social media coordinator, and she does amazing graphics. Like, and she's a Canvas pro. Let's just put it that way. She's very good at it. I will never be that good at it. So hopefully I can ask her how to do things whenever we go and graduate. But yeah, essentially just kind of give the okay on everything, tell other people about it in the organization as well, keep everyone up to date too. So that's basically what I do. Everyone else does a lot of the work in that.
Wow. So what is the role of the Black Eyed Susans here on Southern's campus?
So Black Eyed Susans' role and duty is to just really empower women all over campus, but not just students, that's faculty. It's also not just women, it's just empowering everybody on campus. I know a lot of people might think, oh, you're just a women's org, so you just support women. No, we support everyone on campus because everyone has so much going on, so we might as well empower everyone to do the best they can every single day. Because, I mean, college is hard, so, you know, as long as there's an organization that has your back and has these fun events that are going on every now and then, that it's just really fun to take a break from, which I definitely think our meetings are essentially that, taking a break from all the craziness and just meeting, chilling with all our members and having a good time too.
Absolutely. So do you have any goals that you've set for yourself as president?
So one of my goals is one to bring in like an excellent group of women as our inductees. So we actually just announced all of our new Black Eyed Susans, and they're actually selected by a secret committee that no one knows who they are. Literally, my advisor doesn't know. I don't know. I get an email that says blackeyedssusans@gmail.
Oh, wow.
And they just communicate with me and they say, hey, these are your new Susies, welcoming them in. And so what I have set for that is just really welcoming our new Susies in and being like, hey, like, this is your role, be excited about it. It's a really great organization to be a part of, and a lot of people look up to everyone in this organization. I've definitely looked up to like Raven. Whenever I first joined my junior year, Raven was a part of it, and I always looked up to her, and so it was really nice to like get to know her and everything like that. So it's nice to know that like people look up to people in that organization, and so I basically want them to be really proud of that and take that with them throughout their day and make sure they set a goal being a Susie.
Absolutely. So what are some goals that you have then, really?
Yeah, so my goals specifically are, one, to get people to know about Black Eyed Susans a little bit more. Some people think like it's a secret society, and it's like the only thing secret about it is the people that pick everyone. Everything else, we're very open, we're very women-driven. We want to make sure at our Women's Summit in the spring that we nominate 3 people to recognize them and showcase them. And that's just to show, hey, like, we recognize you and we show you all the hard work that you do. And that's faculty here, and that's actually a sophomore student as well, just showcasing them and all their greatness and everything.
Yeah, so what does the future look like for the Black Eyed Susans?
So future for in the spring, we're going to have a few different events like our Women's Summit. And essentially our Women's Summit is showcasing women in Hattiesburg, faculty and staff, and they're going to come and speak to everyone that wants to be a part of that, which is so much fun. That's essentially what was put in place by Selma, our past president, a few years ago, and ever since then the Women's Summit has been like our biggest event. And so with that, we always want to make sure that is like the greatest event that we have, because it's just empowering everyone that wants to be there and showcasing, because we ask women to come and speak there. And so last year we had a law firm that's women owned come and speak to us. We had a few faculty staff. We had a lady, this semester we're going to have hopefully someone that is a private chef and come and speak with her private business. And so we're really, really excited about everything with that.
Wow, so really it looks like you've got a lot of goals. And
Yes.
you have a really big future coming up. So what are some events that you'd like to see within the Black Eyed Susans?
Some events, well, hopefully in the spring we're going to have a bouquet making class.
Oh, wow.
And so we'll hopefully work with like a local florist to come in, and it'll hopefully be like a bigger event, and just have everyone and have the owner talk to everyone and just be like, all right, like mingle, meet new people, make a really pretty bouquet and everything like that. Also just kind of showcasing Black Eyed Susans a little bit more. All the ladies that were picked for new Susie induction, they are genuinely some of the most amazing women I know, and some that I haven't met yet. But obviously, since they were picked by the secret committee, they're obviously amazing. And so I'm really, really excited to meet them. And yeah.
So what are some ways that you would like to showcase the Black Eyed Susans that are on campus?
Definitely through social media. I want to like push them and show what they do, because it's not just a one-set wonder like, oh, this is what a Susie looks like. Like, everyone looks different in the Black Eyed Susans. Everyone does something different. You have band kids, you have people in sororities, you have people in SAPA, you have people in sports, you have people in everything that you can think of. And so I want to showcase that by saying, hey, like, showcase what you can do through social media. We sold buttons at homecoming, and we have specialty buttons for just the Black Eyed Susans.
Wow.
And so they get to wear those on their backpacks and everything like that. And that gets like the questions asked, like, oh, what's your button about? And so they get to talk about that too. And then like our first meeting with our new Susies, we're definitely going to go over like, oh, what it means to be a Susie. And so whenever they do get asked about Black Eyed Susans, to hopefully new members in the future, they can talk to them about it and let them know all the great things about Black Eyed Susans.
Right. So what are some ways that you could spread the Black Eyed Susans, not just on campus, but throughout the community?
Throughout the community, yes. So definitely bringing in those women from local Hattiesburg events and bringing them into the summit. Also just kind of showcasing them once a week maybe as well, saying, hey, like, we want to give a shout out to this business and this person because we noticed they're working extra hard on everything they want to do. And also just different students in USM itself saying like, hey, like, you're working extra hard in your organization. We want to showcase you. Maybe if there's just a student that we know that's having a hard time, be like, hey, the Susies have your back. We know it can be difficult, like letting you know that we're here for you specifically as well.
Right. So what are some ways that you think that Black Eyed Susans could grow?
To grow, one, Black Eyed Susans. No, it's really cool, especially seeing all like the Black Eyed Susans grow around, because essentially that's the school color, that's our school flower, and also that's our organization. And so seeing them grow, especially like getting the word out about us specifically,
Right.
through International Day of the Girl, a lot of people came up to the booth and were like, hey, like, what's this about? What are y'all celebrating? And we're like, oh, we're a women's org, Black Eyed Susans, celebrating International Day of the Girl. And that especially got a lot of word out. And then we sold buttons, like I said, at homecoming, and that got a lot of word out. A lot of people really liked our buttons, which is really, really cool. And we actually handmade them in the hatchery. And so the hatchery was a really, really great spot there. And we had a lot of people walk in while we were making them and be like, oh, what are y'all making? What are y'all doing? And we were like, oh, Black Eyed Susans. And we got to talk a lot about it. I definitely think this semester we've been really, really good about getting the word about us and like what we want to do in the spring and the end of the fall. And so I think everyone's really excited to see what we're going to do in the coming future.
So how do you think your future looks as the president?
So as the president, so one, like welcoming the new Susies in, I got to give like an invitation out to a few people that I handpicked, just to be like, hey, like, you're invited, welcome, welcome. And they were so excited. There are a lot of them that like I've known and I'm not super close with, but I'm like, I get to be extra close with them whenever they come in. There's a lot of closer people that I know that got inducted, and I'm really excited to get to know them and just kind of showcase them what an executive position looks like.
Right.
Because some of them maybe have not been in an org where they have like that close of a relationship with the exec, and that's one of the best things about Black Eyed Susans is since we're a smaller org, you get to be really intimate with everyone.
Right.
And so that's one of my favorite parts, is just to kind of help lead everyone into like their right path, and if they want to be an exec, do that as well. And then just be there for questions. You know, as seniors just on this campus, I think everyone kind of has a role of helping underclassmen get to like that accomplishment stage.
Right.
And so definitely doing that. I try to be someone anyone can come to, especially with Black Eyed Susans being a women's org that supports everyone. It's definitely that part of that role too. So I love supporting people and telling people they're doing a good job. So that's definitely my future with that. And then whenever we do new elections for the new exec, definitely whoever gets it, leading them on the right path and saying, hey, like, you can take this org wherever you want, know its values at hand and in mind, but just kind of do what you want to do with it for that year, because you only get it for a year, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
But you definitely need to do a lot in that year to kind of showcase the Black Eyed Susans and the women in that organization.
So what are some ways that we can build the organization outside of the community?
So definitely during our Women's Summit, we bring in a lot of people from Hattiesburg and local Hattiesburg establishments. We had a law firm that's women-owned come and speak to us. Hopefully at this year's summit in the spring, we're actually going to have a business owner that works in like a chef, and so have her come and speak. Definitely just showcasing them and saying, hey, like, we see your work and we want to invite you to come and speak to the people at USM. And obviously it's anyone who wants to come, and it's open to everyone, and it is so much fun. You get to meet so many new people. Actually, a lot of like our new inductees were there, and so that's how they kind of learned about Black Eyed Susans. A lot of people join thinking, oh, like, this is just a great way to like empower women and just empower people that want to come to USM, and so it's a really great way for people to get to know the Black Eyed Susans.
Right.
Also, we just kind of showcase other people on campus. I know me, myself, and then a lot of other people in the Black Eyed Susans are really, really sweet and helpful, and they essentially do anything and everything on the community. I love going to local Hattiesburg's events. There's actually a place called Funky Frida's, and it's a couple's house, and they just put on mini concerts, and I love supporting them. There were literally only me and my friends that went to their last concert, and it was the most fun thing I've ever done.
Wow.
And so definitely, like, they're really good. Everyone at Black Eyed Susans is really good about going out and supporting local events, local business owners, and so just showcasing that, hey, like, our Susies are always out there doing everything.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So could you tell me just a little bit about the history of the Black Eyed Susans?
So Florence Borough Pope was in the class of 1910 to 1911, and they were trying to figure out, oh, like, what are our class colors going to be? That's when they just did class colors. And she was on a field trip with her class, and she saw a meadow, essentially, of Black Eyed Susans in a forest, and was like, everyone, grab those, and we're going to draw the class name with the Black Eyed Susans on, like, a little sheet of paper. And so they did that, and everyone loved the idea so much, they chose black and gold as the class colors. And then in 1912, when the school was officially founded, everyone on a committee, and including Florence, was on that committee trying to figure out what the school colors were going to be. And so she suggested black and gold, citing back to what she did for her class name and colors, and everyone was like, oh yeah, we need to pick something that no other school has in Mississippi, obviously, when the school was founded. And so it was between maroon and gray or black and gold. And hers won. And so everything else has changed. The mascot's changed a lot, and the school name has changed a few times. But black and gold has always been the school colors. That's like a little bit of history of the Black Eyed Susans and why it's the colors and why it's the school flower. And then Black Eyed Susans was actually founded again by a secret committee.
Oh, wow.
And our advisor was given whenever she was a student here, essentially like either an email or a letter saying, hey, we want you and this person to create this organization called the Black Eyed Susans that is a women's honorary group. And that's essentially how she did it. She recruited different women, and she was like, hey, like, I got this letter, essentially basically wanting me to create this organization. And they gathered women that they thought were great. And then essentially, since they're on, the committee has picked women after everyone has submitted their application. And so here we are. And so really, really exciting. It's definitely not a super old organization, but it's definitely like still in the beginnings of it, which is really fun and really exciting. So I think that's why a lot of people don't know about it. And so this is really exciting to like kind of get the word out about it.
So what do you think the impact has been because of what happened in 1910 and 1911, 1912? What do you think that impact has had on USM?
Well, obviously the school color.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like, I don't know, like, Black Eyed Susans, I definitely never really saw. I'm from Texas, and I definitely never see that flower at all in Texas. And so it's obviously like a really prominent statement piece here at USM. And obviously just because of the colors are gorgeous and how much they're around campus. And so it's really cool, especially like when people get to know about Black Eyed Susans as an organization, and then they see the flower and they say, oh, like, Black Eyed Susans, there's a women's organization about that. So that's really cool with that connection, especially too, and knowing all the little history tidbits. It's like, oh, a woman essentially founded the colors, which is really, really awesome to like kind of tie that into Black Eyed Susans as an organization as well.
Right.
And so letting people know the history about that just allows them to kind of have a deeper connection with the Black Eyed Susans as an organization and with the school flower and colors.
What are some ways you could honor that history to the future of the organization?
Definitely depending on what organization events go on. So we could have like, oh, maybe a founding flower day, figuring out like exactly when that committee met and when they decide the school colors and honoring that day.
Right.
We could have definitely honoring Florence and what she did for the university, because obviously it's a very prominent impact.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really exciting of these colors that she picked. So definitely like finding different events and different dates and times, because we celebrate Founders Day and everyone celebrates their own Founders Day with their organization. So maybe having our own Founders Day of when the school colors were picked and when the Black Eyed Susans was officially an organization as well.
So is there a message you could give to our viewers about the Black Eyed Susans?
So whenever you see anyone that's involved in Black Eyed Susans, or maybe you haven't heard about it, but you know someone that's involved in this organization that's a school flower and that's all you know about it, definitely ask them about it. Ask them, and their best answer is probably going to be like, it's a women's org and we do our best to empower everyone and everyone on this campus, and especially women, and we always want to be there for everyone on this campus as well.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a wonderful and insightful interview.
Thank you so much, Abby. This is so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us on our community calendar interview. Please be sure to subscribe to us on social media. Thank you for watching. I'm Abigail Troth.